more on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns. And it's all up next.
Fun times in Cleveland ahead as we join you by the Lakeshore here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here as the Chicago Bears taking on the Cleveland Browns. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
The veteran Dustin Hopkins has this one teed up, and we are underway here in Cleveland. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
2nd and 10. Fields again. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, short of them returning it from mid-six, that was about the worst start you could ask for in this one, because your advantage of getting the ball first is gone, and they're set up a short distance from your end zone. Now you're counting on your defense to prevent a touchdown, and your offense, you better be ready to come out swinging in the next series.
So here are the Browns now with great starting field position. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
This is what this man was born for, the big spotlight on the national stage like this. Really, his entire career, he's demonstrated incredible poise, no matter what type of situation his team was in. No situation is too big for him, and you can tell in the way that he takes the field. His self-belief is evident, and he gets the job done in his mind each and every time.
Runs through the contact. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Fields going to keep it once more. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. There's a Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Fourth down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Jakeem Grant deep for Cleveland. Taking it about the 36. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. And returns the punt 64 yards to the score. And the Browns are able to strengthen and add on to their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss-hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. But it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. They come up here now, first down.
Here we go.
Now Herbert to start the drive. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On second down, here's the option. They'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Fields. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at the 20. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And they will take over 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. That sun's going to be a factor all game long. I'm not sure it made a difference on that one, but it's something to think about on all deep throws during this time of year.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson now to throw. Fight, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught, and he will not make it. They stop him short of the first down. There are times to run that fake, and there are times to not run it, and this, without question, would fall in the latter category.
Well, I don't know about without question, Mark. I think we should look at the analytics on this one because, oh, yeah, the analytics say, yeah, without question. You should have gone ahead and punted the football because now, not only did you not get it, and you really had no chance to, what a short field that you turned the ball over to the other offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Read option, here's Herbert. And he's going to be hemmed in and blocked down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Fields now to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. Down the right sideline. And he takes this one back into the end zone. His defense has a touchdown. Well, this defense is circling early. The pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And partner, when you get off to a first quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. That pick 6 just a moment ago. Things went from bad to worse. Look up at the scoreboard now. Not looking good here. We'll see if they can put something together on this drive. 1st and 10. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10. At their own 27. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete there to St. Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
First down, Chicago.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping it air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Partner, we always talk about how important 3rd down is, but I think 1st down is equally important because everything comes off of that play. If the defense wins the down, they are able to attack. If the offense wins the down, they might go fast and do other things and change things up. That big play right there allows this offense to really get in gear.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Faking the give, now Watson. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They run. Chubb. Past the 20. 5. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And again, it's Chubb. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Watson going to try and run it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's a 1-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And a rout is on here in this 1st half.
Bears nothing. Dustin Hopkins sets the goal.
throwing the touchdown. Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be a possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in the history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They run the option on second down. They'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
There's ever like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit. We're not even at halftime.
Now here's Trenton Gill now. Returnable for Grant. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They begin this drive with Chubb. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 84 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Excellent job on the keeper, 20 yards and a 1st down.
For a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 31. A give running right is Chubb. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
It doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They run it again with Chubb. Fakes for it. And they'll take it in the end zone for a first touchdown. Taking it in for 11 yards now. And the Browns have opened the lead up to 30. Well, partner, time to start thinking about dinner plans after this one. I don't want to write them off first quarter, but my goodness, the offense clicking like this and a 4-score lead.
We are programmed to not get to that stage, right? To not think that way, but you can't help it. They look like sheer perfection right now with those 4 scores this early. Let's see if they can keep it up, and let's see if there's any way possible they can be slowed down.
Yeah, right now, I don't see any signs of them being slowed down. Hopkins with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half.
31. Bears nothing. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. On the return, here's Tyler Scott. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Bears now ready to take over again. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Herbert now on the option. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
On 2nd down, here's Fields. To the sideline and incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Herbert powering up the middle. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Zadarius Smith. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. Toby looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Browns. 65 yards. And the Browns are able to widen their lead in this first half. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house.
Bears nothing.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field.
Here we go.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's Fields now on second down. His throw incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Cleveland offense making their way out. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. Breaks through the contact. And he'll go down the number 4 gain is inside the 30. 147 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well. Because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. There's the stiff arm. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 25 yards to pick up there and also a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Chubb. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns extend their lead yet again. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the route is on here in this first half.
Bears nothing. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Herbert. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he will have the Bears first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Bears.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. But that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A shotgun snap, Fields. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Anthony Walker, given that O-line fits, he gets in there to drop him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy like you don't want you just play.
I'm not good enough to play the fantasy game. I enjoy watching it.
You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up. 5th place. Okay. That's a champ in my book.
Up at the 29 now. They'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Now Chubb running right. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that first down marker. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they.
Fields hit, and the ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And these guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Shoves him aside, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 191 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
As we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Now he's loose again. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are pouring it on. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Hopkins with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This offense so far on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Dancing to his left. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down. He'll keep it himself. And now off to the races down the right side. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Just a spectacular run by the always dynamic Justin Fields. And the Bears are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays, here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown on the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
This taken in at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Off tackle run here for Nick Chubb. And a pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. 2nd down coming up. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, it hasn't been a better first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Watson. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cooper, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns have got it on cruise control. What a first half. He is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Chicago offense set to get started. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Fields. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 50 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Here we go.
Now a 1st down throw. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be going dead. And it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. 2nd time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy. And now two problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a wrong one. But second, you set your other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Here comes Amari Cooper and the rest of the Cleveland offense.
He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number one.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start. Got their feature guy going, and now
it's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his third touchdown pass in his first half. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first two quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. This is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. A final shot before the break. Fields. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a solid first half out of the workhorse Nick Chubb. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Cleveland. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you just have to go out, take pride in your work, and try to put something together here in the second half. It certainly feels like complimentary football to me, partner, because the momentum from the team's touchdown drive looks like it's made its way over to the defense. They're working together in tandem now. Offense gets in the end zone. Defense with a big sack on the first play of the following drive.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. On the option right is Fields. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Fields. And that is incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together, as that brings up another 4th down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, trade him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he was really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know when a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Well, we're good for 33 and a 1st. Well, it's kind of fitting. A couple days ago when we met with him, I said, what is it about your running game that's so effective? He said, I like to tag myself as elusive. He was pretty elusive right there.
And his teammates appreciate that because they know they don't have to hold their blocks for very long. As one of them told us, if I just breathe some bad breath on the guy in front of me, that's all I need to do, and he's gone.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And Chubb will try the middle here. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Well, it certainly appears that the big guys up front have taken charge of the line of scrimmage. 2 really nice plays back-to-back. But on the defensive side of the ball, there shouldn't be any despair. Okay, they've got us a couple of times here. Hang in there, keep your composure, and try and figure it out for the next play.
5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's got this down to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end.
He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field.
And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. Fields going to keep it running right. And maybe a little over-pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
And the Bears first down.
Off play action, Fields. And this one too low.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. Here we go. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Looking to throw on 2nd down, Fields. Under heavy rush, and down he goes. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
No, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second-half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer in the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Chubb will get the call, running left. There he goes, left side. Inside the 10. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Chubb, 63 yards. And the Browns just continue to roll. When you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together, this has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here we go.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 7. Herbert once more. And the reinforcements are going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. First by him near the 35. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. That's a really big game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And shedding through the... Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about the quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
And they'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Browns get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Bears 10.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields on the move to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Fields. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here comes Amari Cooper and the rest of the Cleveland offense. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in the route or they get open early, but they just always find a way, and he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. He continues to be dominant running the football. I mean, keep feeding him, right?
Yeah, you should, because what he's put up already is really like a two-game total. Give him a lot of credit, but give the rest of the offense credit as well. The big guys up front and the receivers on the perimeter, everyone's getting involved blocking people downfield.
Well, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone. It's touchdown. Nick Chubb, 29 yards. And the Browns extend their lead yet again. Well, and it's been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
And if you're keeping an eye on the box score, that last run puts him over the 100-yard mark for the game. And this defense has just had all sorts of trouble trying to keep him under wraps, both passing and running.
This will be caught downfield by Moore. And he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
On second down, a run with Herbert. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On third down, Herbert. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
They'll try and run the option.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. A give left side here for Herbert.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here's a give to Herbert.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Back to throw, Fields.
And that is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, in the 4th quarter here, you've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And now the Browns coming out on the field.
We paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd down. Here's Chubb again. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They run it again with Chubb. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Browns send out their punter now in punt formation, but as we've seen, that's no guarantee he'll punt to foot. And look at this, another fake. Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it up, and the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 37-yard line. Well, sometimes the fake punts work out. They're fun, and you're so smart for doing it. Sometimes, Charles, what happens is an epic fail, and what we just saw was an epic fail.
And you're right about that, because the key here is the element of surprise. You have to catch a defense completely unaware that this might happen, this might occur. Unfortunately, somehow they tipped it off, or they were just well coached and on their toes.
On first down, Fields. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
This quarterback had to spend plenty of time studying prior to the game, but he has to be tired of seeing these guys, especially him. Third time now.
And he's going to go down again. Zadarius Smith. Who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here, because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your quarterback upright and get through the end of this one.
Under pressure, they got him again. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, have a game someone, don't you? A sack earlier and an exclamation point here late in the game, and this one won by his side of the ball. They played so well, surprised he didn't get his second sack earlier.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. Shoves him away. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one good for 33 and a first. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
Watson going to try and run it. And he's in. Touchdown. Deshaun Watson keeping it himself for 5 yards out. And the
sidelines here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Myles Garrett, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And taken right on the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, we're going to look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark for him.
Throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget analysis, all right? Let's just root a little bit here. Get him the football and get past that 200-yard mark.
Boy, you want that. You seem excited.
I know, and it's really weird because normally I want guys to intercept the ball. Right? I want to knock it down. In this case, he's been fun to watch.
A former DB rooting for the wide receivers. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. He continues to be a major factor carrying the football here into the 4th quarter, Charles.
Another big gain on the ground. Big guys working strong up front. A lot of them not just taking care of business at the line of scrimmage, but getting into the linebacker spots and taking care of the second level as well.
And they're taking advantage of everything right now on the scoreboard with that lead. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
A give running right is Chubb. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. He'll get 9 out of that run, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down and 11-yard pickup. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, That tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down there.
He is into the end zone. Touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are pouring it on. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Hopkins with the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they're going to try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Sione Takitaki came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here we go.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Back to throw here. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure, he's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. Montez Sweat with a tackle. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. A give. This is Chubb. Able to push his way through. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
It's caught at the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is over. He has been fun to watch throw the football this way. Certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. But my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Here comes Amari Cooper and the rest of the Cleveland offense.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And one last throw here for Fields. Oh, and that is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. And by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.
So I'm lounging around with my crew just chillin'. I'm wearing black and white, but I ain't no villain. When all of a sudden I get this rumbling feeling. It's my stomach, it's telling me I need to be grilling some hamburgers, you know that big fat and juicy, the ones that be having you licking your lips profusely. And when you take a bite you no longer feel down, cause with that taste of perfection in your mouth you can't frown. Life's so good when you're eating a burger, and so unhealthy, it's like artery murder. But you don't even care cause it tastes so good, it's like
hamburger, hamburger, hamburger,
yum.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Big Mac, Whopper, Big Mac,